Chintara Japanese History, Episode 6.
Episode 6. I'm not even going to say it. It's Jomon.
Jomon.
Knew it.
But this time is a bit special.
Special?
I'd like to present a compilation of unsolved mysteries from the Jomon period.
Unsolved mysteries. This suddenly feels like a conspiracy theory channel.
Not conspiracy theories. Legitimate archaeological puzzles. Over 5 episodes we've covered the Jomon period, but what we don't know vastly outweighs what we do.
True, you said. We're not exactly sure, like every episode.
Without writing, we can only deduce from physical evidence. Today, 5 mysteries that remain unsolved.
5. Nice. I wonder how many I'll hear before falling asleep.
If you fall asleep before hearing all 5, this channel has done its job. First, the topic that keeps coming back, Dogu figurines.
Dogu again. Basically the main character of this channel.
As discussed in Episode 1, the vast majority of over 20,000 discovered Dogu were intentionally broken.
The spiritual substitution thing, right? Transfer your illness and break it.
That's the most widely known theory. But it doesn't explain everything.
It doesn't?
Broken Dogu fragments are sometimes found scattered across different locations.
Different locations?
A Dogu's right arm found on the north side, its left leg on the south side of the settlement.
They deliberately buried pieces in separate places?
That's the only explanation. If simply broken and discarded, the pieces would be together. Scattering was intentional.
Why though? Some kind of protective charm for the land?
One theory suggests burying fragments in each direction created a protective barrier.
Like a magical barrier?
Similar idea. But not all broken Dogu fit this pattern. Different times and places, different reasons.
Over 10,000 years, there wouldn't be just one reason. We've heard that.
Recent research proposes that breaking itself was a creative act.
Breaking as creating?
By breaking, the power stored in the Dogu is released. Destruction is activation.
Like cracking open a capsule to release what's inside.
That image works. In any case, no definitive answer exists. This is the Jomon period's greatest mystery. Next, the Sannai-Maruyama site. The massive Aomori settlement from Episode 1.
The one with systematic chestnut planting.
It thrived for about 1,700 years, from roughly 5,900 to 4,200 years ago. Over 500 residents at its peak.
1,700 years. That's longer than most of Japanese history.
Yet around 4,200 years ago, it was suddenly abandoned.
Suddenly? After 1,700 years?
Yes, the reason remains unclear.
War?
No evidence of warfare. This was the Jomon period.
Food ran out?
One theory points to climate change. Around 4,200 years ago, a global cooling event occurred.
The whole planet got colder?
The 4.2 kiloyear event affected civilizations worldwide. Even Egypt's Old Kingdom collapse coincides with this period.
Same climate shift as the Pyramids era. That's massive.
Cooling may have reduced chestnut yields, forcing people to disperse.
But it's not confirmed.
Not confirmed. Another theory. The settlement grew too large to sustain itself.
Social tensions?
Pack 500 people together and conflicts arise. But this too is speculation. Why a 1,700-year settlement vanished remains a mystery. Third mystery. Where did Jomon people come from?
Weren't they the original inhabitants of Japan?
Original is tricky. They descended from Ice Age land bridge crossers. But DNA analysis reveals something fascinating.
DNA?
Jomon DNA doesn't closely match any modern population in the world.
What? It doesn't match anyone?
Neither East Asian nor Southeast Asian populations are a clear match. A very ancient lineage that branched off extremely early.
They were isolated?
Once Japan became an island, mixing with continental populations was minimal. Unique genetic traits were preserved.
Like the Galapagos.
Exactly, in a biological sense.
But they weren't completely isolated, right? They traded jade.
Trade existed, but large-scale migration didn't occur until Yayoi-era settlers arrived from the continent.
Over 10,000 years with basically the same crew.
Modern Japanese DNA still contains Jomon elements. Roughly 10 to 20% on average.
Jomon blood still flows in us.
Indeed, but where exactly they came from and why they built such a unique culture, the full picture remains unclear. Fourth mystery: stone circles.
Stone circles, like Stonehenge?
Different scale, similar concept. The Oyu stone circles in Akita are famous. 2 rings over 40 meters in diameter.
Huge. What were they for?
We don't know.
We don't know?
The leading theory is burial grounds. Human remains have been found beneath them.
So they're graves.
But not all of them. Some stones align with solstice sun positions.
An observatory? A calendar?
Possibly ceremonial gathering places. But why arrange massive stones in circles? Unknown.
Just moving the stones would be brutal. Tons of rock, no machines.
The effort means these places were critically important. But what that importance was, we can't fully grasp.
The frustration of no answer is kind of romantic.
Indeed, the unknown fuels imagination. That's part of the Jomon charm. The final mystery. In some ways, the biggest one.
What?
Why did the Jomon period remain largely unchanged for over 10,000 years?
Wait, is that really a mystery?
A huge one. Other regions transitioned to agriculture, built cities, invented writing, formed nations, all within a few thousand years.
Right, Mesopotamia, Egypt.
Yet Jomon people maintained hunting-gathering for over 10,000 years. No farming, no writing, no nation-states.
Stagnation?
That was the traditional view. But recent thinking offers a different perspective.
Which is?
They didn't need to change.
Didn't need to?
The Japanese archipelago was temperate with abundant resources. Hunting and gathering provided plenty. No pressure to adopt agriculture.
They didn't change because they weren't struggling?
Exactly. Not changing, as stagnation, or stability, depends on your perspective.
10,000 years of stability is actually remarkable.
Post-Yayoi Japan saw enormous upheaval in just 2,300 years. Wars, regime changes, technological leaps, environmental destruction.
Maybe the Jomons' 10,000 years were actually better.
One perspective, but whether it was truly a happy 10,000 years, that too is unknown.
Ending with unknown again.
Ending with unknown. That's archaeology. That's the Jomon period. Episode 6. 5 Unsolved Jomon Mysteries.
Every single one ended with, we don't know.
Summary. Why were Dogu broken? Unknown. Why was Sannai-Maruyama abandoned? Unknown. Where did Jomon people come from? Not fully known. What were stone circles for? Unknown. Why didn't things change for 10,000 years? Unknown.
That's just unknown 5 times.
But honestly saying, we don't know, that's the integrity of scholarship.
That's actually kind of cool.
Not cool, just fact.
So after 6 episodes, surely next time is Yayoi?
Dot.
Stop with the silence.
Next time
Yeah.
is the Jomon series finale.
What? A finale, not Yayoi.
Finale first, then Yayoi.
Still dragging it out. Fine. I'll be here no matter what. Good night.
Good night.